All right. Well, that looks a little weird. Ugh. Hey guys. All right. So Dr. Chef here, giving my input on the world of crypto. I don't do this a lot. Look, it's not my fault. Okay. All right. So many people have been telling me, hey, look, you got to make a YouTube station. You got to make a blog. You got to talk about this crypto and blah, blah, blah. And I've been doing all these classes and everything. And now this kind of crazy time has come upon us. And so I figured it's finally time I should step out. I'm gonna start doing more of these. I think this is a little kind of crazy late night lighting type of deal. I'm gonna do some whiteboard, brighter lighting, more specific stuff. But let's just talk for a minute, okay? Um, if you're panicking, like losing your mind right now, because you're like, oh my God, Bitcoin bounce, man. I mean, here we got resisted at 40. Oh my God, it's never going to go above 40 again. It's the end of the world. Or you're looking at your portfolio. You said, I had, a lot of money, a few months ago, and now I don't have a lot of money. Um, is it time to panic? Is it time to freak out? Is it the end of the world? Well, first of all, you got to ask yourself a couple questions. First of all, why did I get into crypto in the first place? Now, okay, I am, like you see my name, Dr. Chef, right? Okay, PhDs in theology. I'm a world master chef. So I'm not a financial analyst. So don't think I'm like the head of some firm in Wall Street or whatever, okay? And this is legal advice or whatever. It's not financial advice. This is for educational purposes, you know, entertainment, maybe a little bit, okay? So you got to ask yourself a question. Why did I get in crypto in the first place? Did I get in crypto because a friend said it was cool and I didn't believe them and I put some money in there? That's like, what, 25, 30% of y'all? Did I get in crypto because, wow, the Shiba Inu is so cute? Oh my God. You know, okay, yeah, Shiba Inus are cute. I'm a huge dog guy. A lot of dogs, love dogs. Shiba Inus, that's cute. Especially if they wink at you. I totally get it, man. And who doesn't love Elon Musk? I mean, yeah, rockets to the moon and Teslas. If you've ever been in a Tesla, that shit is badass. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. Yeah, okay, whatever. You know, guy tweets and everybody loses their blows their freaking wigs off. I don't know what to tell you. Saturday Night Live. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, except maybe just for a minute, take a deep breath. Okay. Did you get into crypto because your friend said so? Did you get in crypto because Elon was on Saturday Night Live? Did you get in crypto because there was a cute Shiba Inu that might make you a millionaire? Why are you in this in the first place? Now, if you're in it because you do long-term investing and analysis, maybe you're not losing your mind right now. If you're in it because you study the projects like Cardano in Africa and VeChain cleaning up oceans and taking plastic out of oceans, you're like, wow. You know, maybe you hate banks. Who doesn't really honestly hate banks and fees and all the crap that's going on in the world? I mean, I get it. I get it. Why are you in it? So this is video number one, question number one. Okay, I'll get more technical later, right? But why are you in this in the first place? Me, I'm a long-term guy. I'm like I want to see what happens guy. I'm a don't waste, don't risk any money that if I lose it, I'll kill myself guy. I am a let's have a little fun. This is exciting. I love this stuff. Analyzing crap. I love this stuff. I'm an analytical personality. That's my base trait. Love stuff like that. Love learning. Big learning guy. Love learning stuff all the time. Learn, 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 learn. You probably figure that out. If you research me a little bit, maybe you'll discover that I love to learn stuff. Maybe you do. Maybe you love to learn stuff. Maybe that's why you're in crypto. That's true. You're all right now. You're not freaking out. Now, I'm not saying it's not weird. If I pull out my info, and like I said, later on, I have like this whole multiple computer, beautiful setup or whatever. I'm building an office right now. I'll show you all that. Maybe you're taking a look at this stuff and you're like, you know, that's a little wacky. You look at something like that. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, that's a little scary right there. That'll freak a person out. That looks like a crash. That's what it looks like. That's the 1 month chart. Yeah, a friend of mine on YouTube. I love all those YouTubers. By the way, shout out to literally all you guys. You taught me so much the whole time. I mean, honestly, I can't even start. There's like this 19-year-old guy in Dubai, this total badass. Crypto Casey, if I wouldn't have listened to you in the first place about security, I'd be screwed right now. So I love you guys. But yeah, but one of my buddies, I think it's that badass British dude. What's that guy's name? Like the Bureau. Yeah, the Bureau. That dude's a badass. Anyway, I think one of those guys said, "Hey, zoom out." Okay, so you zoom out. Here's your zoom out, right? You see that? Now that's rough, but that's a little less rough, right? Then you zoom out a little more. Look, that's the 1 year. Okay, that's the 1 year. You see that? Okay. My point is the more you zoom out, the less you panic, for starters. Okay. Is it like flirting with half of the all time high? Sure. Is Fibonacci a thing? You know, that's like what, 13th century? I don't know if it applies to, modern technology, but whatever. I love that stuff. I love studying that stuff. You got resistance and support, and you look at all that and like, this is kind of bad. Okay, let me give you my final like 2 cents on the current situation as of Memorial Day 2021. Here's what I think. We got to pay close attention to what's going on. There's a slow slide happening. It's been going down for a little while. It looks scary. I get it. If you're worried, sure. If you're looking at this stuff like, okay, I get it. I feel you. I do. I feel you. If you're panicking and outright distraught, you probably put too much in it that you couldn't afford, or you're one of those short timers that just had their buddy at the office say, "Check out Dogecoin, bruh." Whatever. If you're paying close attention, though, we've got two ways to go. Now, true, I don't want to do what a lot of the guys on YouTube are doing, which is just go with the whole, oh my gosh, everything's wonderful. It's all stars and sparkles and blow smoke up your ass. I also don't want to go with the guys on YouTube that are like gloom and doom, this is the end of the world, because there's two ways to go. If the macro pattern, which is directly connected to the Bitcoin halving, which is last year, normally there's a spike the year after, the year end, and the early of the third year or the second year after. Okay. If that is going to play out, the way we're going to know that is in the next few months, it's going to start to climb. Okay. By the end of the year, you're going to have all-time highs and the same numbers that you had at the beginning of the year. That means that we're following the macro trend based on Bitcoin halving, and you're going to have a blast at the end of the year. Then it's going to slow down in the end of next year in 22. You're going to have a flat year leading into the 24 halving, and then it's going to spike again. If the macro pattern that has held for a decade holds, then it'll go back up. So don't worry, take a deep breath. Now, doesn't mean that macro pattern has to hold, because this is the modern world. This changes all the time. This is crypto. This is new stuff. If the macro pattern does not hold, we're going to know that because this downtrend will continue. We'll be in a bear market. Are we in a bear market right now? It's totally possible. Absolutely. Are we in a long-term extended dip where everybody can buy, and then we're going to spike again? That's what I hope. Obviously, I hope we're in the macro pattern. That is a deep dip. We all buy, and then by the end of the year, we're all rich, rich, rich. Okay, yeah, sure. But you only got two options. Option number one, well, maybe there's three. Option number one, you're in the macro pattern in a dip, and it's an extended dip, and it's scary, but you're in the macro pattern, so you're at all-time highs by the end of the year. Possibility number two, bear market has started, everything collapsed early. That whole pattern we used to have, the macro pattern, has collapsed inward. We had a brief spike at the beginning of the year. Now we're on the bear slide down into basically a low key situation for the next year or two. But there's a third thing, and I don't know, this is completely out of the box. There may be a new pattern violating both the short term and long term, both the macro and micro patterns. There may be a new pattern, like a slide mount. Let's call it slide mountain, where there's a new pattern that comes into play. If that's true, there's a new pattern and we're tracking it and we watch what happens, we're going to learn about the future because it's very possible from the advent of new coins, new information, new connections, all this other influences like Elon and all that stuff. It's possible that we're creating a new pattern that's going to violate the macro pattern. If that's true, we're going to want to pay attention to learn from that. No matter what we're learning, more than likely we're going to see a spike back up in the near future. How are you going to know that? Like I said, I'm going to have a whole lot of charts behind me in the next few videos, but how you're going to know that is if you that resistance point, that 40,000 that gave us trouble in Bitcoin. Right now, what are we doing? If we turn to Bitcoin right this second, we're at 34,669. Whoa. I mean, that's enough to want to kill yourself. If you're on Wall Street, you're jumping out of windows, okay? It's going up and down a lot. It's freaky, and it's roughly 6 months, give or take a little less than 6 months. 6 months ago, we're about 18,000. So this is still way above that. It's about halfway, about a 50% point in the last 6 months to a year. So what does that mean? Well, scary, sure, scary for a lot of people. Now, if we break the resistance level of 40,000, it'll keep climbing. We'll go back to the all-time highs in the 60s, and we'll be beautiful. I'm going to go 75 to 100 by the end of the year. If we don't break that, if we hit it again and bounce back down and we keep falling off of that, we're in the bear. At that point, we're bear, and we're like, no, the bear. It's, for some of y'all, it's kind of like that's, that Leonardo, that Leonardo DiCaprio movie with the bear. Yeah, it's a little bit like that for some of y'all that thought Dogecoin's cute. Whatever. Look, I'm in here for the long term, and I'm in here for fun. I'm in here for analysis. I'm in here because I got, just so much respect for so many people in this field. And I'll talk more about that in the future. But for now, I'm going to leave you with that. Take the gun out of your mouth. Wait a minute. Try to see if we're breaking up and down. If we're breaking down, relax, buy and hold, because we're going back up. This isn't going away. It's not some fluke, okay? It's not going away. This is a thing. It's going to be a thing forever. It may even be the only thing in a decade. So take a deep breath. If we keep going up, then we're in the macro pattern. You pay attention to that 21, 22 changeover, that November, December, January, February timeframe. We'll talk about that more as we get there. If we spike hard and we're at all-time highs, be aware that we're in the macro pattern. You're going to pan out. You're going to crash out by the end of that year, 22. So pay attention to macro patterns. If we're spiking at the end of the year, if we're not, if we're still If we're still low key in 2 or 3 months, then we're in a bear market. The whole pattern's screwed. We got to start from scratch. Buy and hold. That's it. Dr. Chef, love you guys. Thanks for playing. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do all that self promotional crap because I don't give a shit. Okay, look, smash the like buttons and the whole like follow, subscribe. Do all that stuff because that helps. I don't know about YouTube or whatever. I don't really care. I'm just chilling and hanging out with my crypto homies. So I love you guys. Have a fabulous weekend and a fabulous Memorial Day. Definitely do not poison the hamburgers at the cookout because Bitcoin's approaching 30. It's really not the end of the world. I promise. See you guys.